Letting go of every single dream. I lay each one down at your.
My childhood was pretty good. My parents divorced when I was very young, but both sides pushed God in our lives. We went to church every Sunday. My mom worked quite a bit. She was a nurse, and she always had 2, 3 jobs. Her husband at the time pretty much raised my brother and I. It was pretty difficult because he made it pretty clear to me that I am not his biological child, which led to a lot of emotional abuse, sometimes some physical. Because of the things that he had said and done to me, made me feel very lonely. And when I hit my young teen years, my parents divorced. I no longer had that male supervision in my life. With that freedom, I was also introduced to other things such as alcohol and pot. I started rebelling. My mom still took us to church on Sundays, but at that point in my life, I could have cared less.
Not say not. So in all things be my life and bread.
And because of the relationship I didn't have with my dad, now here they are divorced, and my mom's working all the time, and now I'm not having one with her either, which caused us to fight frequently and scream and yell. And I partied, I skipped school. Our relationship just wasn't happening. Eventually, at the age of 15, I did run away. My mother worked all the time. My stepdad made me feel unwanted. My father had his own family, so I felt very alone, very angry, and I felt like everybody had abandoned me. Since nobody wanted me, at the age of 15, a girlfriend and I had talked this 21-year-old to quit his job and drive us to Colorado, because I wanted to go to Colorado to be with my brother and my brother's friend. He showed me attention that all girls dream of. He was going to sweep me off my feet, and he was going to take care of me. So anyways, I moved out to California to be with him, and I immediately had gotten pregnant, had a son at 17, and then 2 weeks after I turned 18, we were married. That's when the fun really began. Our marriage was very abusive, very verbal. I didn't know that he was a very bad alcoholic and a drug addict. I was alone. I had nobody. All I did was pray and pray and there would be days where he'd be gone. I had no phone, no food, no diapers. I would have to call his family. At one point, I was so broken and so lost that I didn't think that there was a purpose for me anymore. And if it wasn't for my son, I don't know if I would even be here.
Never changes what you see.
After 5 years of hell, I eventually talked him into moving back to Indiana. I had just gotten to a point to where I couldn't take it. Eventually, I left. I left my home. I just left. I was homeless, and I figured I would just figure it out on my own. I stayed with different friends, snuck to my brother's house during the day just to eat, and then slept wherever I could at night for about a good month until I got on my feet, got a job. I started beauty school, and that's really where my career started and my life began.
I will trust in you.
So I had been married, I had dated. They all failed, and I had too much anger. I didn't trust, and I was just done with men. During that time, my dad and Becky, I saw how much that they have grown in their church and how much love and passion they had for God. And it really touched me.
When you don't move the mountains, I'm needing you to move. When you don't part the
And then during that time, when I turned 29, my husband was brought into my life.
as I cry out to you, I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you.
He was going through a divorce, and we both had some major baggage. We did our best to try to bring two blended families together. It was really hard.
Comfort, you are my steady hand. You are my firm foundation, the rock on which
And during that time, I had met his mother, Phyllis, and Jim. And just like my dad and mom, they had so much love in God and so much love for each other. It awed me, and I wanted that. Phyllis was always there to preach to me and give me lessons.
when you don't give the answer, as I cry out to you.
I really wanted to be a good wife and a good mother, and I really wanted God to be in our lives. And I had asked my husband if he wanted to do the Great Banquet. The Great Banquet was absolutely life-changing. I know for a fact I was saved. I know that was the first time in my life I had actually found peace, and I let go of all the anger that I had for many, many years, all the resentment, and I knew then that I no longer had to hold on to that. It didn't have to be on my shoulders. God had it all. I no longer felt alone. I finally realized that my whole life God was always there. I just wasn't listening. So last Sunday it was very exciting because my stepdaughter Marla got saved. And I'm so thankful that I get to share this day together with my daughters.
Every moment of my wandering never changes what you see. I'll try to win this war.